The Wani under two moons, Jiri of Umbaya, Umbaya of Crossroads, at Lunga. Lunga, her sky gray. Rai and Jiri at Lunga.
Counselor.
I sense nothing but good intentions from them, Captain.
Mr. Data. The Tamarian seems to be stating the proper names of individuals and locations.
Yes, but what does it all mean?
I am at a loss, sir.
So in my last video, I mentioned that Theo Warner challenged Billzybobb to a conversation, and Billzybobb had refused to take him up on that conversation, but eventually decided to go ahead with it. And that audio is posted on both of their channels right now, so if you want to go ahead and take a listen, it's just audio. It's an hour and 21 minutes of audio. But there's one point about what they were talking about that I wanted to focus on. They got to discussing, Theo Warner brought up an analogy, and Billzybobb picked up the analogy and tried to make a point with it. And from that point on, it was all analogy, 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 and they basically stopped talking about particulars. Everything was allegorical. But the point that I said in a comment that I thought Billzybobb was trying to make was that a Christian would have to be a person who heard what Christ said, understood what Christ said, and applied what Christ said. Since everybody has different interpretations, then nobody is actually doing exactly that. Nobody knows what Christ meant. Nobody can say for certain which thing Christ meant. So to call yourself a Christian is to say nothing in particular about what you actually believe, because so many different Christians have different interpretations of what Christ said. Which is how I come to the idea that even though they were disagreeing about everything they said, they actually agreed about everything that they were talking about. Theo had said that he didn't like to use labels, and this all came about initially because of something that Neil deGrasse Tyson said. Neil deGrasse Tyson said he preferred to be labeled an atheist or an agnostic rather than an atheist because of what atheism represents. So when you break it down, what you end up with is this. You end up with Theo Warner feels that labels get in the way, and he doesn't like to have labels. But at the end of the video, he ends up calling Billzybobb a fundamentalist, which is applying a label. And unless you know what that label means to Theo, then you're not actually necessarily taking the same thing from it as what he was saying. The same thing is what Billzybobb was saying. He could call Theo a Christian, but the idea of what a Christian is gets lost to Billzybobb as far as it applies to what Theo Warner believes. So they're actually both on the same page on that. They actually both agree that labels are valuable things, probably necessary things, but unfortunate things. So when they're talking about how they disagree, they're not even disagreeing. They agree on what they disagree about, and they disagree that they disagree about the same thing. So Theo, if you're still interested in having a discussion when you get back from your little trip, I'm still here and I'm still willing to pick this up. You had said, for example, that you're Catholic, but taking from that what you tend to feel about labels, I suspect that you are not what I would interpret Catholic to be. And beyond that, I don't think that any two Catholics are the same thing. So if you're interested in having that discussion, I'm still interested in participating. So let me know. And for everybody else out there, Neil deGrasse Tyson caused all this because he refused to say he was an atheist. Neil, just acknowledge that you're an atheist. You're not politically an atheist, but that you are philosophically an atheist, and the whole issue goes away. Thank you.